We are joined right now by the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. He is entering his third season in that capacity. The Falcons finished the season with 7 wins for the second straight year. They open up their regular season at home against Carolina on September 10th. We are joined by their head coach, Arthur Smith. Arthur, it is great to have you on the program. How you feeling?
Hey, thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me on here.
It's good to have you on here. Really good to have you on. So let me ask you, the 53-man roster was finalized yesterday, so now we're about a week and a half out from the opener against the Panthers. How you feeling, Arthur, about the 53 you have and the work they've been putting in getting ready for week one?
Yeah, I feel great about it. We had a competitive camp, as we've been building this thing, and, each year's been a little bit different, but this was a very competitive camp. And so there were some tough decisions made, and thankfully we got a few guys back on the practice squad, which keeps it competitive because you're allowed with these standard elevations, to really go up to 54 and 55 if you need to, and that certainly makes it easier.
Arthur Smith joining us. Not that I expect you to break down the process completely, but how challenging was it for you and your staff to make those final cuts to get down to 53? And then, Arthur, what's it like to tell a guy who is trying to live the dream, who gave you absolutely everything he had, and you've got to say, sorry, we just don't have a spot?
Yeah, those are hard conversations. I have so much respect for these, the players that we have in here, and it's a hard day in any industry, when you're basically telling somebody, hey, you're not going to be here any longer. And, if I ever become numb to it, I need to go do something else because these guys give us everything they have. And it is a tough day, but there's a way to do it with empathy and respect. And our guys, they all deserve it. And thankfully, we're able to bring some guys back to our practice squad.
I can appreciate that. Arthur Smith is joining us. Now, your roster does include running back Bijan Robinson. Not that you care much what I think, but I'm going to tell you what I think. I absolutely love this guy. I love him. I love him on the field. I love him off the field. And given all this talk about how devalued the running back position has become, given his versatility, how valuable is he to this offense?
Yeah, he can do a lot of different jobs for us. I mean, he's just an exciting football player. I agree with you. I mean, we love the player, the person, excited, he's part of our team. And he's such a unique football player. And I think, sometimes people get locked into certain categories and that's a separate debate that I probably shouldn't get to publicly about, what's fair and what's not. But all these players are different and their value to the team are different and their skill, their strengths are different. And Bijan's is a unique football player for us.
We were talking to Arthur Smith. When you and I spoke during OTAs in May, you spoke really positively about what you saw from your quarterback, Desmond Ridder, as he started the final 4 games of last season as a rookie. So how much progress has he made since then? And then how big of a jump do you expect him to make this season?
Yeah, Des had a really good camp. And, the good thing about Des is he's got a lot of reps. He played a lot of games in Cincinnati and then was able to play at the end of last season. So he's got a lot of experience. It hasn't been a ton at the NFL level. I understand that, but those reps matter for a quarterback. And he's got real leadership skills, and I think he's had a really good camp. And he understands what his role is. And as you're bringing quarterbacks along, you better make sure you've got the support system around them. I mean, a lot of times that you can make a great subjective argument that tanks some talented players in this league that their careers may have been different if they've been somewhere else.
Oh, I've always said that, right? I think situation is so important. Fit and situation are so important. So it's really important, Arthur, that he has reps. But to your point, he also has targets, like no shortage of targets. Like always a good thing for a young quarterback. Drake London, for instance, is looking to build on that outstanding rookie season he had. Kyle Pitts, fully healthy, it seems, after being limited 10 games last season. So how pleased are you with the help that your quarterback has around him and the overall depth of your receiving core?
Very pleased. We've got a lot of unique skilled position players. The addition of Jonnu Smith will help, Matt Collins, Cordell Patterson, and then obviously you still have Tyler Algier back there. So there's a lot of guys that can move the football for us, and we feel very confident in offensive line. I mean, we feel great about where we're at right now. It's exciting. We're last weekend without NFL football, and so try not to get too out over your skis a little bit. We still got some time here before we kick off, but it's an exciting time.
Yeah, it is. It is the best time. Arthur Smith joining us for a few more moments. I know you're looking to see some improvement defensively, it would seem to me, because this is why you went out. You got Calais Campbell, you got Jesse Bates III, you got Bud Dupree. What is your outlook on that side of the ball?
Yeah, we feel good about the depth up front, the way that we want to play. Expect Troy Anderson to take a leap. We added Caden Ellis, who's a very smart football player who can also rush the passer as well, depending on what packages we want to deploy, from game plan wise. And then, the corner depth outside, with AJ out there and then adding Jesse and Richie. I mean, we feel good about where the depth's at. And then the other thing, too, about getting more opportunities to rush the passer. I mean, that'll increase your sack numbers. We can get out to better leads and we can get people in the obvious passing situation.
You spend any time at all. And, I mean, even as, like, a media member like myself, you spend any time at all with Calais Campbell, and it's hard not to be taken by this guy's just his it. He's larger than life, literally, figuratively, no matter how you want to describe it. What's he been like having around, and what kind of an impact has he had on the defense already?
Yeah, he just, certainly brings a lot of experience and wisdom. And, it's incredible as you look at the career he's had. I mean, he's played, 16 years now. And he still looks great. I mean, he's a guy that can set the edge. He can certainly collapse the pocket when you need him to on rush downs. He's been great for that room. There's a lot of veteran experience in there with Grady Jarrett, adding David Onyemata, Bud Dupree, Lorenzo Carter's back, and then we have some young guys to go along with that. So it's been a really good mix. He's brought a lot to the locker room as well.
Falcons head coach Arthur Smith, my guest. So before you go, we're not quite there. We're almost there, but we're not quite there. But you're going to open up with a divisional matchup right out of the box when you take on Carolina. What do you make of the top overall pick, Bryce Young, and what challenges does he present to you in his NFL debut?
Well, he's another guy. I mean, he had a lot of reps at a high level at Alabama. Very, very smart player. I mean, you could see it, the way he can extend plays. He always reminded me of like Steve Nash, the way he plays quarterback, the way he can distribute, and you can see that spatial awareness. As he extends plays or just traditionally just dropping back. So I think he's going to be a challenge, and it's our job to make it difficult for him, especially in his first start. But we got a ton of respect for those guys. Frank Reich, having when I was in Tennessee as a coordinator, he was the head coach in Indy. They got some really good defensive players as well. It's going to be a great challenge.
That's a great analogy. That's a really great analogy about Steve Nash. So one last thought. What about the division? Like, really interesting, right? Especially at the quarterback position. Desmond is heading into year 2, but he's the only returning starter in the NFC South. You've got Young leading the Panthers. Baker Mayfield now is with the Bucs. Derek Carr joins the Saints. Does it feel like the rest of the division has kind of had a collective reset of sorts?
Well, yeah, finally, Brady finally retired, so that's
good, right?
I thought he was going to play till he was 50, but that certainly changes, what it's going to look like in Tampa. And they got a new offensive coordinator, and Dave Canales, and then they're going to go with Baker Mayfield. That's Todd Bowles is a terrific coach, and their defensive scheme is tough. But in New Orleans with Derek Carr back there, that's a talented team. They got some good veteran players as well. Every year in the NFL, it's always wide open. That's what makes it so exciting, week in and week out.
Arthur, were you kind of kidding when you said that, or did a part of you think that, man, that old guy may play till he's 50?
He was the one guy I wouldn't doubt. I mean, I was up in Tennessee, in the last game that we played in the wild card in New England, and then I got here to Atlanta in 21, and it was like, you just don't see many athletes, and the way he competed and is unbelievable. It was like Benjamin Button. I'm like, all right, this guy looks a lot better at 44 than I did at 40. So I need to find out what he was doing.
There's something to it. Like, leave me with this thought. I'm more impressed. Like, what do you think about a guy like that who never lost his willingness to prepare? Because the grind, the commitment, how dedicated he was. Physical, you're going to have some slippage. But what about it took him all that time and he never lost his willingness to do the work?
It's a rare trait, and that people that sustain success like him have, because he never, that you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, not many people could do that in the way that he prepared and the level he played at. And then, it's really impressive. Just the mental grind that it probably took. And I'm not claiming that I know him or really know the inside, but studying from afar, that's where I have the utmost respect for him.
Exactly. That's the thing that's always inspired me the most about that guy, that he was willing to continue to pay that price year after year after year after year. Arthur Smith is the head coach of the Falcons, entering his third season, and they're going to open up against Carolina to start the year. Arthur, appreciate you and really appreciate you coming back on the show. Thanks so much.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.